In a courtroom bright and bold, and he marks the stories he told. With a finger pointed high, he's the ace, the reason why. Through objections loud and clear, truth and justice always here. From the witness stand to the judge's chair, and he's ready beyond compare. And he marks in Phoenix Wright, fight for truth with all his might. Meet a spirit and mind up by his side. Together they'll turn the tide. He's defending the accused, while baby Gumshoe is confused. Solve the case, bring the truth to light with Andy Marks and Phoenix Wright. Phoenix Wright.
So what do you think, Mr. Wright? I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time. And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. Lana! Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. So, how'd it go? It says Mr. Wright suspects the police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. A plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma. But Lana, don't tell me you... Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. Miss Sky. We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall. What kind of trace evidence? Bloodstained fingerprints, to be exact. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall? We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Sky? Do we have to do, Mr. Wright? Well, if he's guilty, man. Like, I'm sorry if he's your guys' friend. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is... I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet, the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. But that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edwards' car. Wow, this is one mess-up trial. One of my duties as a prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today, I'll present evidence related to the murder at the police department. In doing so, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. And that's what set Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things, even though he doesn't know what's going on himself. And that's supposed to be an admirable trait? Very well. Let the trial resume. On the day of the crime... One second. Good old honey. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police station? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand. For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer? Oh boy. Things are getting wild from the get-go. Will the witness please state his name and occupation? Yes, sir! I'm Officer Mike Megan, sir! My occupation is, that would be murderer, sir! So you're telling us you're a professional killer? Sir, it was me, sir! I'm the one who did it! I'll never kill anyone again, sir! You gotta believe me, sir! Actually, you'd like to hear from... Sir! What do you call part of the... I'm what you call part of the younger generation, sir! A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend! Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me, sir! Officer Meekins. Yes, sir! Give us your report of the crime. Consider that in order. Yes, sir, as you wish. After all, I am a part of the generation that must be told what to do, sir. Can't fault him for his lack of enthusiasm. Crime report, sir. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen, and I rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life, and then I did it. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you? Do unto others before you they... 1 second, I'm like trying to get my fucking crock. There we go. Do unto others before they do unto you. That's the Megan's family motto, sir. I see. And you fainted and a colleague helped you regain consciousness. Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. What I need here is more info to work with. I bet you the person who woke him up was Officer Marshall. Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir. I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir. Yikes. Well, there's a scary thought. Evidence transfer was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir. Really? The Blue Badger? Yes, sir. The lovely police mascot created by the chief of detectives, sir. I was just sure it wasn't broken during the transfer process. There's a handprint! I knew it! I knew there was a connection somehow. That was my sole mission for the day, sir. I see. Sounds like a very, important mission. After the awards ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badgers to the evidence room. Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there? Sorry I'm late. Queen's blood batch took longer than expected. Gonna have to lurk for a bit. Throwing my phone's low. Do your thing, man. Thanks for stopping by. How's your day going so far? How's your week been so far? In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? Precisely, sir. I have one right around my neck. So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right? There it is! I found it! This one right here. Can you please read us the number? Yes, sir. 498-9596. That's my number, sir. I see. Huh. But the number 498-9596 is shown being used twice. Interesting. Let me look at this. Yeah, one at 450, one at 515. At the same time as Goodman, too. Interesting. The exact same time as Goodman. Please explain, witness. It's no real mystery, sir. The first time is when I relocated the Blue Badger in the evidence room, and the second time is when I go get him after everything's settled down. I see. So it was during that second time when... Yes, sir. That's when I spied the man on the security screen. So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you? It was a knife, sir! A knife! Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you? What happened then? Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was. You aren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into. That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. That's how I got this gash on my hand. Maybe if you just kept your cool... Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be... When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. What exactly do you mean when you say did it? I don't look like the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched the knife from him. You took his knife? I spun him around and performed the disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man. I see. He must have been desperate. The next thing I knew, his white coat had been drenched in a sea of blood, and then the next thing I knew... Yes? He punched me right in my face, sir. And what time did you regain consciousness? No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know what? Know that? I was unconscious. Oh, right. According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it's at about 5:30. He hit me right in the head too. I woke up crying in tears of pain. That's nice. That's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is. When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir. Your mission? Yes, sir. The Blue Badger, sir. I returned him to the entrance before things got out of hand. Well, we can all rest easy now. I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim? He's got a point. Yes, Officer Meekins? With regard to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Gant delivered it to me just this morning, sir. The chief delivered it. What is it? A videotape? Yes, sir. That's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. It contains footage from security camera in the evidence room.
Objection!
Wow. What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape. And was told it had been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake. I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at. Looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever. Well then, let's have a look. Show us a video of you murdering the victim. Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me. A video of a real murder. Just what are we getting ourselves into? Yeah, that's Meekins. Oh shit. Oh, come on. But Meekins is the one who's on the ground. Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred up within us? What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood? Sir, that is the pride and joy of the entire criminal affairs department, sir. It's the Blue Badger, sir. Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly? Yes, well, anyway. This tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter someone in the evidence room in some sort of... Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that alright with you, Officer Meekins? Yes, sir. As you wish, sir. His face can't be clearly seen in the video, but there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he's opened the locker, which requires Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. The locker he opened was unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else can have unlocked it. What's this about a fingerprint? Each detective is given a locker equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have had to have been Detective Goodman. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. I don't know where this cross-examination will lead, but everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start. Let's save. Tell me, were you able to get a good look at him? At the face of the man who attacked you with a knife? Sir, if you must label people as having seen or not seen the man's face, I believe I would be classified as the latter. The latter? But you were standing right in front of him, were you not? More to the point, you are the person who fought him, aren't you? Oh yes, sir, but I didn't get a clear look at his face, sir. I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when talking with them, you see. Yeah, that's a good trait for a police officer. Still, I'm sure it was him. I bet my badge on it. Let me look at the evidence. Let me actually see if I can... Can I analyze the video? Okay, so it plays the entire video again. It looks like the locker's already open. Yeah, the locker's already open. Meekin's walking over, looks like a fucking creep. But you don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face. Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, if you must... Okay. Since his face can't be identified in the video, only you can verify it. What? Why is everyone looking at me? How to label your stares as disturbing or... Meekins. Ah! Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best mood. Now please be more certain when you testify. Yes, sir! You claim that the man who brandished the knife on you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you're positive it was him. I want to try something here. Let me save something. Let me save. I want to try something here. Let's fucking go. Regarding the video contained on this tape, let's fucking go. I knew my hunch was good. There's one thing in particular that seems rather strange. Strange? The contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman. What? This video contains such a contradiction? Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I propose we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video. He would want me to point it out. Very well. Proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. Back for a bit, phone on 64%. I'm good, having a real good week so far. Good for you, man. How's Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2? I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak of. I have to point out a problem in the video. This is the first time I've ever had to do that. You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so we can fast forward, pause, and rewind the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing. Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video. How did this guy ever become a police officer? Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where is a contradiction that indicates the man... Fast forward... The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Meekins? Sir? Do you meet me, sir? As I understand, the locker apparatus works like this. When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint. If it's a match, the light turns on and the lock is released. According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir. If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. Slowly closing in on endgame. Oh wow, you fucking flew through that. Is it not a long game, or have you just been playing it? When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker... Let's rewind to a little earlier. Here, notice the light? What's this? It's already lit! Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Ah! Good old green tea. Order, order! What's the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. But the locker locks was controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know. It must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this. That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and remain and report any malfunction. Oh well. It just goes to show that novices should keep their mouths shut. So then, Mr. Wright, you have an explanation? Me, Your Honor? Yes. Why wasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor? I guess evidence transfer? Yeah, evidence transfer. When playing in the Suns got roughly 104 hours? Jesus. Like, has the game, how long has the game been out? Yes, well, you see, this is exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh? Oh, maybe something like jam the system sensor? Something jam the sensor, say. There's something else that seems out of place in this video. Yeah, I thought so too. There's gotta be another clue somewhere in this footage. Very well. Let's inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't locked. Mr. Wright, please point out the cause for this. Fast forward. Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. This is the 29th. That was able to start playing midnight. Got it. What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are open. I often fall out and roll great distances when I open my car. We can't be sure that the item was completely inside the locker to begin with. What do you mean? The sensor triggers a lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted? It is a little odd that, like, it keeps on doing this. The white thing wasn't inside the locker. This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. So I have 3 times to get stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol guard vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing, my tie chokes me. But the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents. It would need to be an insulator. Yes, an insulator, but at the crime scene, there just might have been something that fits the description. Very well. Will the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was the insulator that was stuck in the locker door? I found this near the locker. A thin rubber glove. Went hard on the weekend. Been getting in a couple hours of my free time. Nice, man. I would love to play it one day, but like Sony's being bitches right now, and for some reason Microsoft isn't really pushing them on it either. Like Final Fantasy 16, it's been over a year, and we still don't even have it on Xbox. We're almost a year. Let me save again. But we can't be sure that was in the victim's locker. It has a tag that says SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker, but that isn't the case. The limp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekins? Sir! It would appear so, sir! Order! 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 So, we were to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman's? Do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. What? Officer Meekins, please testify about this. Sir? Me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir. Is this a joke? Very well, begin your testimony. Mystery Man 2. Okay. Let's see. We'll save again at the beginning of the cross-examination. There's one other thing that proves that this man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had to use his card. An ID card record? I see. I have ID card record right here, Your Honor. The ID was used at 5:14. The ID used at 5:14 is that of the victim. Just before the crime. Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one more thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transfer. Why were there so few people using this room? That's a good question. This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases? Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end. Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. There's only a few cases up for transfer there, and most were cleared by noon. Right, I see. Now let us move on to cross-examination. So right off the bat, didn't we find Bruce's ID at the other crime scene? I just want to check something. Yeah. Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. I'm no good at waiting, sir. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense. No. When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. A lost item report? It's only half completed. But it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess. You believe this something to be his ID card, right? I can't say for sure, but there is a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Whoa. Okay, that's a lot right there. Let's get DLC. Kind of, I don't know, though the answer wasn't well received. Reloaded was faithful. Not sure how well it's gonna be good for DLC unless they heavily overall it. I mean, they probably will. I could see them doing it. But then again, it's a remake, so like, I don't necessarily know if they'll like cheat. I mean, they could though. Like Final Fantasy VII Remake is apparently changing a whole bunch of things. Order! So now, what does this all mean? It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. Order! Does the prosecution have a response? I have only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo. Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15, on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes. What's he up to? That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at the same conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. That is, well, I guess that's right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago, you seem content to be pointing your finger around. This isn't going to end well. Well, it seems you finally realize exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. Well, What up, Steve? Have you been unjustly accused of murder? Framed for a crime you didn't commit? Injury or a car accident or a work-related incident? Call the law offices of Andy Marks' show at 1-800-AMS-LAWS today, and we'll bring whatever bimbo is framing you to justice. I like that. So the real crime can only happen at one location, the underground parking lot. At the prosecutor's office, the murderer being Miss Lana Sky, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. The trustworthy witness observed the moment the defendant used the murder weapon. I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many unanswered questions. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered, and where did the person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to only examine the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, you have to do something or else Lana... What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? Objects. One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Of course not. I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? Cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Mr. Wright, do you mean... Your Honor? The defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh? Whom do you have in mind? Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. Wright. The person whom who you would have testify, what is his or her name? Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? Can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court is now in recess. Things are getting spicy. There's no stopping you. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall? It seems you figured everything out. I haven't figured anything out. Lana, you're the one who knows everything. Emma, you always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? Ha ha ha! Let's go! Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You got a lot of nerve, pal. Making a detective run all over while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here. I've been happier people at funerals. Way too baby. Sorry, Detective. You better be, pal. Hey! I didn't see you there as a chief prosecutor Sky. That's okay, so, have you brought what I asked? Oh. You mean this, right? My apologies, Detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making a request. My name. Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident? But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them. I can't believe you, the chief prosecutor, were a witness in that case. Miss Sky was a witness? Files for the Joe Dart killing, solved 2 years ago. Joe Dart. Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with the serial murders. Oh, what? Now that I brought you your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me? Emma? But why? Why is your name in here? Emma's name is in the files? What? My name's in there? I don't know, unless... No, couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident is that? That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dart killings. The Joe Dart... No, Lana. That's over with. No! Emma, wait. She ran away. Oh, you... Excuse me. Oh, you know what? I just remembered I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal. I'm out of here. Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth, not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you, you just might be able to figure it out. I gotta read these. Perpetrator Joe Dart. Death sentence. Victims. Edward Jones, Edith Kirby, Jason Knight, Rachel Moss, Neil Marshall, Jeff Bates. Marshall. Isn't... Oh, fuck. Oh, we're getting some good stuff here. Yeah. It's clear as fucking day now. Neil Marshall? Gee, I wonder who shares a last name with one of them. I guarantee you that Neil is Jake's brother. Jake's brother, father, cousin, something. Miles Edgeworth, Lana Skye, and Emma Skye. Damon Gann. Have we met Damon Gann? Bruce Goodman was the head investigator. Jake Marshall and Angel Star were investigators with Bruce. Interesting. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. Better take a good look at this file.